Hey guys, Machintos back here today again with another deck profile. Yeah, hope you guys would enjoy this video. Okay, so let's get on with it. Ancient World, Wild Dragon deck. So basically, this Wild Dragon deck is basically the older Danger World. I mean, basically, this deck is a control deck, which it's sort of like a beatdown deck. You have huge monsters with like massive stats, and yeah, you have massive stats like even greater than Danger World stats because all of them have lifelink. And basically, you have an item that reduces lifelink by 1 for Wild Dragons. So essentially, lifelink 1 equals to no lifelink at all. So body monster is Green Dragon Behemoth, Wild Dragon / 100 Demon, and basically it's an item destroyed. So decent stats. Okay, let's get on with the deck profile. So this deck is relatively cheap to make. Basically there are no notable foils inside. I mean, it's still decent. Yeah, okay, moving on. Size 3s, 2 copies of Rainbow Dragon Arcane Seal. It's a rare parallel foil. I just happened to get 2 copies of this. No, this deck is not fully foiled. I just only have these. Alright, so pay 2 gauge. This card on the field cannot be destroyed by effects nor returned to hand. When this card is destroyed, put up to 1 size 1 and up to 1 size 2 Ancient World monsters from a drop zone into your hand. Double attack lifelink 2. So pay 2 gauge for a double attack monster with 7k power, 6k defense is really good. And 2 crits. And also because this card cannot be destroyed by effects, so your opponent has to deal with 6k defense. If this card is in the center, of course. And basically, if you force your opponent to destroy it, you're forcing your opponent to give you a free size 1 and a free size 2 from your drop zone. So yeah, it's part of the consistency of this deck. You do not run out of stuff easily with this card. Okay, moving on to size 2s, we run 2 copies of Red Dragon Ignite, just to push for damage. Flame Breath, when this card enters the field, deal 1 damage to your opponent. 6k power, it's pretty good, but we have other 6k power monsters as well. So if there's a lifelink monster, I would probably run it, but there isn't, so whatever, just 1 damage to your opponent's face. Alright, so the other size 2 we have is 4 copies of Dark Dragon Demo Shield from the 100 Demons Trial deck. As you can see, a lot of these cards are all 100 demons. Okay, so 6k power, 8k defense, huge wall, and 2 crits, lifelink 1, which doesn't really matter because you see. Okay, moving on. What's higher than 8k defense? Of course, it's not even a size 2. We have a size 1 monster, Bronze Dragon Degala, lifelink 2, 10k defense, 1k power. Even though it's just a meager 1 crit, but it's 10k defense, lifelink 2, which means to say it's just lifelink 1. Doesn't really matter. 10k defense is really big wall in your center. Yeah, so however, it's just a size 1 monster, so it can die to like Dragonic Thunder, and 1k power allows it to be destroyed by Dragon Breath or Dragonic Shoot, stuff like that. Okay, moving on. That's also a 100 demon monster, so you can actually call this deck a 100 demon Wild Dragon deck. But of course, we're not using the Parade of 100 Demons because I like Ancient World spells more. Alright, moving on, 4 copies of Ash Dragon Deforest, also 100 demons, 3k power, 3 critical, 2k defense, lifelink 1. So your 3 crit monster to face rush your opponent. Okay, moving on, 4 copies of a Bunny monster. When this card enters the field, you have 2 other Wild Dragon or 100 demons on your field, pay 1 gauge, destroy an item on your opponent's field. So this card, due to the uprising of item metas, basically your Faith Omni items, whatever, Knights also rely on items pretty heavily. Yeah, basically 2 other Wild Dragon. You can either have 2 size 1 monsters on the field already, or you can have a size 2 and a size 0 monster on the field, or you can have a few set spells, or even the item, because the item is actually Wild Dragon in attribute. Alright, moving on. There's 4 copies of Bunny Monster. Last 2 size 1s, 2 copies of Blue Dragon Thunderhorn, pay 1 gauge 3 crit monster as well with 5k power. Pretty good. It's from EB01. So lifelink 1 as well. Don't really care about that. Okay, moving on. We have 4 copies of our size 0. Amber Dragon Kantal. Can tell. Whatever. I can't tell his name. Okay, never mind. Alright, you may only call this card if you have a wild dragon in your field. 3k power 2 crits. So basically, when you have a size 2 on the field, your size 0 will act as an additional attack. So even though this deck has an item, I would prefer to run this deck with a closed center approach. So usually we have either Demo Chill, either we have our Arkansas in the middle, or we have either Degala or Demo Chill, basically 8k and 10k. So those are really hard to defeat. Yeah, basically close center, so the item essentially just acts as a set spell. So 4 copies of the item, 1 shiny foil. Alright, so Ringlet Loop of Fire, Wild Dragon Weapon, Wild Dragon Weapon 5. Alright, pay 1 gauge, all Wild Dragon monsters on your field gets 1k defense and 1k power. Basically Degala becomes 11k and Demo Chill becomes 9k. The rest you don't really care because you only want the big monsters. Alright, so reduce damage dealt by lifelink of your wild dragon by 1. Hence, all my cards are wild dragons, and basically we try and maximize the number of lifelink cards we can run to maximize the value of this card. So this card, stats are normal. Not normal, I mean his stats are really trash. It's like worse than a Drago Fearless. But basically we're using this as a set spell. So reduce damage dealt by lifelink. This is the super value part. So basically every time you would take damage from lifelink but you do not, basically it's like gaining life. So sort of different what's that called? Different mechanic, but it basically means the same thing. Alright, moving on to our spells. 2 copies of Rev Trigger. Basically protect your monster against anything else. Pay 1 gauge, pay 1 life. Monster remains on the field and give it counter attack. So Dark Energy. Okay, so speaking of which, life gain in this deck, we have a decent amount of life gain. So moving on, 4 copies of this old as hell card, Dragonverse. Cast cost, pay 1 gauge. When a monster with lifelink enters your field, you gain 1 life. You may only set 1 Dragonverse on your field. So it's either you get Dragonverse or you get the Ringlet Loop of Fire, which is here. So either or, both of which are really good with your lifelink monsters. So basically they do the same thing, keep your life at a high level so you don't take damage from lifelink. And basically this card, like I mentioned, gives you life when lifelink enters the field. Basically it pays for the lifelink in advance. So yeah, basically if you have 2 of these together, it's a deadly combo. So you have strong monsters, big monsters, and of course, and you do not take damage from their lifelink, and you gain life when they appear. So basically it's sort of comparable to Green Dragon Knight's Song of Ancient Lands. Basically that's a set spell from Dragon World, which I do have in my other deck, so I will just show you. The sleeve is stupid. Alright, so Green Dragon Knight's Song of Ancient Lands. Pay 1 gauge as well, both are set spell. When Armor Dragon enters the field, you gain 1 life, and when a monster with lifelink enters the field, you gain 1 life. So this deck can at least try to compete with Blue Sky Knights or whatever healing that Dragon World has. So you can compete with them. So yeah, 4 copies of Dragonverse, really good card. I like it a lot. Okay, moving on. 4 copies of 100 Demon Sorcery Ryubo Kushi Hai, whatever. 100 Demon Spell from 100 Demon Shroud deck. Cast cost, pay 1 gauge, destroy a size 1 or less monster on your opponent's field and you gain 1 life. Basically this is your Dragonic Thunder for this deck. Yeah, basically we use it for the destroy and the gain 1 life. But this card isn't that really easy to get. You have to get 2 copies of 100 Demon Shroud deck if you want this to be at 4, because there's only 2 in the Shroud deck. Alright, moving on. So that's just another method of lifelink. So moving on, did I say life link? I mean life gain. Alright, so we have Unwielding Dragon, also life gain. However, it's a counter Dragonic Heal, basically allows you to survive Gargantua Punisher, shit like that. So basically it works the same as White Dragon Shield, basically you gain life instead of being reduced the damage. So yeah, so it kind of works like a reduce the damage by 2, but it's just life gain. So different idea in general, but basically they work the same way. So 4 copies, they act as extra nullifiers as well because you have your life. Right, moving on, 4 copies of our Nullify Dragon Prudent, basically a Battle Aura Circle clone. So 4 copies of that. So that's it for no, not that's it. I mean, we're almost coming an end to this deck. So we do not use Manliness Spirit Shield because basically we have a big monster, and usually big monsters are gonna be hit by link attacks instead. So Manliness would not work as well. Alright, lastly, we run 4 copies of another 100 Demons card. I mean, like, more than 50% of the cards here are 100 Demons, I think, if I'm not wrong. Alright, so it's a consistency spell, Dragon get 100 Demons. You may only cast this card if you have 6 life or less. Discard card from your hand and pay 3 gauge. Choose up to 1 monster of each different size from a drop zone and put them into your hand. So basically you draw 4 from a drop zone. Not draw, but you can take 4 from a drop zone. Size 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. No, 1, 2, 3. 0, 1, 2, 3. Because we have all of those sizes. So it's a really high value card. So basically you're paying 2 cards. And okay, so let's try. So basically you use this and you discard a card. Basically you're paying 2 cards and 3 gauge. Gauge isn't really important in this deck, so take it as free, okay? So I mean, it's not actually free. If you use the conversion, gauge would actually 2 gauge equals to 1 card actually. So basically it's like 3.5 cards, but basically we are not using the gauge for anything else. So yeah, basically I'm using 2 cards and 3 gauge for potential. So gauge isn't really used, so we can neglect it. So we're basically trading 2 cards for 4 cards. So of course you get your size 0, your size 1s, etc, etc. And of course the size 3 of our deck is Arkansas. So when this card is destroyed, you can put 1 size 1 and 1 size 2 Ancient World monsters from a drop zone into your hand. So basically synergizes really well with this spell because basically you're getting 2 more cards out of this card because of the size 3's effect. So that's it. Alright, so pretty much that's it for this deck. So look at this. Look at this. Look at this. All these red markings, they're 100 Demons monsters. So of course it's more than 50%. So let's try and look at our spells. Spells not so much. Spells not so much. But monsters really a ton of them. Alright, so that's it for my deck profile for my Wild Dragon deck. So hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, leave a like down below to show me some support. And if you are new to my channel, subscribe if you'd like to see more Buddyfight deck profiles, card reviews, stuff like that. So yeah, also do remember add me on Facebook, and you can talk to me about anything really. You can ask me about Buddyfight, whatever, man. Just yeah, I'll answer most of your questions for Buddyfight if I do know how that shit works. So until the next video, take care, goodbye.